guys, what's going on? This is Jules, aka Vapalon Bassist. Tonight I'm going to be bringing you a cool bass lesson, one that involves slapping and popping. And this is especially good for any bass player who gets asked the question, do you slap the bass? Because the answer is yes. Yes, you do. So the first thing you're going to want to do before you start slapping the bass is make sure that your bass is properly intonated, and also make sure that your action is set up. The next thing we're going to want to do is practice our octaves. So let's take the open E octave for a minute. Just play E. And now we're going to play your second fret on the D string, which is the higher E. So the next step is learning where on the bass to slap, where it makes the best resonance and not a lot of excess noise that you don't want. I typically find about 2 to 3 inches where the fretboard meets the body of the instrument is probably the best area to really hit the string. So we're going to take those octaves that we just found on our bass. We're going to hit that low E, and we're going to hit it, strike it right over here by, oh my goodness, I think that's the, what is that, the 20th fret? I don't know, I think this is a 21 fret bass, so either 19th or 20th fret, and just pop it. Now, another thing to note are thumb positions. So there are some bass players who like to have their thumb up like this, or thumb down. I personally switch off. Sometimes if I'm really getting into it, my thumb will be down like this. Or if I'm trying to really get a nice bright sound, I'm getting it up. So another thing to note is when you're slapping the bass, whether your thumb is up or down, you're doing this kind of swing teeter-totter thing. Wee, wee, wee. Or if you're dribbling like a ball, you can kind of get a nice tone that way. So notice my hand is just kind of rotating. I'm not doing this. I'm not going like this. I'm going like that. So let's go back to those octaves. Here's that low E, and here's that high E. Low E, high E. Low E, high E. Low E, high E. Low E, high E. And you just kind of do that a couple times. Now notice I'm getting kind of sloppy and I'm hitting the strings. So one thing to prevent that is muting it. So with this hand, I'm kind of lightly touching the A string with my middle finger. That way it doesn't vibrate when I'm trying to hit that high E, slapping it at least. So here we go again. So So that's kind of the basic slap, 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 slap. Now notice you can't go as fast when you're doing that. And that's okay. There are people who can do it super, 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 super fast, but I usually find that it's not about the speed, it's about the tone. So with that being said, let's move on. We're going to use that low E first slap, and we're going to use that high E for a pop. So there's a couple ways to do this. Typically I like to slap that same area, and I like to pop up with this little area that's right below the fingerboard. Okay? In fact, you can almost kind of touch your finger on that fingerboard. So if you're going, you can kind of hear that cool bite that the pop gives after you hit the nice resonant slap. Okay, so we're going to go back to that E octave and we're going to try. So let's look at the motion here. I'm rotating my wrist like this, and I'm popping up with this finger, okay? And my middle finger is still muting that A string, so I don't hit it when I'm slapping and popping. So here it goes again. And you can get as fast as you want there. So, let's learn our first song. So, an easy song to practice the slapping and popping technique is by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and it's their version of Higher Ground. The normal, original version by Stevie Wonder has the intro being played, what do you play again? Clavichord? On, a key instrument, basically. So the notes for Higher Ground, we're just going to learn the first part. It has that octave E that we tried, right, the pop slap. And the next notes are going to be the G. And what I like to do here is I like to kind of, almost kind of like I'm playing a bar chord on a guitar, I like to mute the A and the G string as I'm playing that G right here, okay? And I'm popping that high G, so I still have that octave. So here's the first octave, the E, here's the G octave, okay? Now the next set of notes you'll need to know, the A octave. So for the intro, that's all you need to know. And if you want to practice that intro to play each octave, slap pop. So here it is again. Okay, so after you do that a couple times, listen to that first octave. It'll sound like this. Dun, dun. So that's the rhythm for the first octave. And then I would come back to that open E after you pop the high E. The next octave is kind of like the previous octave, where you do a bump, bump. So, and then the next octave would follow the same rhythmic pattern as that G octave. So you start the E, G, A. So, okay, and once you work that up to tempo, you can kind of start playing fast. Notice that when I go from the E octave to the G octave, I'm putting a little extra open E in there, and that's basically for rhythm purposes. So if you're going, it kind of connects that, it connects the first octave with the second really well, and it stays with the drum beat. He likes to skip that lower A, and that kind of changes it up a little bit and kind of follows that funky Stevie Wonder clavichord. Alright guys, well I think that concludes my little intro slap and pop lesson. Stay tuned for more, and go ahead and subscribe. Thanks.